All right, you guys, you have all these appointments and now you need to know, what do I do at the appointment? Okay, so we're gonna start going through some of the presentations and how you can facilitate these with any person that you have an appointment with so that you're totally prepared. Okay, the first one that we're gonna go over specifically in this video is mastering the introduction to essential oils. So I'm gonna go through how to really create value in this interaction. So let's go through reasons people do not buy. Some people don't buy because maybe they're on the defense that it's a sales situation. They may believe that the value that has been presented doesn't really outweigh the cost of the products that they want to purchase. And the thing about this one is that this is really up to us. So our job here is to make sure that we're creating the most value possible. Maybe they aren't in your target market. And again, we talked about that a little bit. They may legitimately have no money or no need. And we talked about making sure that our conversations are staying within that target market. Maybe possibly the buying isn't easy enough. We have to think about where people are used to buying things, right? They're used to shopping online. They're used to going to Amazon Prime and having things purchased at, the tip of their fingers. So we have to make sure that we're doing our job to outline a very easy buying process for the people we're working with, okay? Next is maybe you're weirding them out, and that happens sometimes because we're so excited about what we have to offer that we get a little carried away, right? So make sure you're just matching the tone and the enthusiasm of the people that you're meeting with. Okay, so let's focus on our job because I'm always about controlling the controllables. There are certain things that are outside of our control, but we want to master and be experts in the things that are within our control. That is our job and what falls in our shoulders, that we're doing it the best possible way we can. So your job is to connect with people. Do you know how much people love talking about themselves? So one thing I notice in our society today is that people are craving connection. So many times people are busy behind a screen or behind their phone, not ever dealing with people in person, right? Or even just valuable conversations where they're truly connecting. And so people are craving that connection. So our job is to make sure we're connecting with them. Ask questions, remove pressure to buy, set the agenda, right? Remove pressure to buy. That's a big one of allowing connection. The next thing that we need to make sure we're doing a really good job of is learning about their problems so that we can personalize the products we're talking about to match their needs. Now, if you feel like I just don't understand everything yet, your job in this education process is to make sure that you can talk about the top 10 oils and lifelong vitality, because those are going to be the products that we focus on in our introduction. So even if you're new, I'm sure you've had some experience with the product and you can master 10 oils and lifelong vitality in a simple way to tie it back to help bring value to the situations that they're dealing with. And most of the time what I see is a lot of repetition of the same exact issues. So the more you do this, the better you're going to get. And I want you to know that it's okay to say, let's look it up. That's a really good question. Let's see which products would be best for that. And that's why we don't want to be the answer all the time. We want to make sure we let a resource provide that answer for people also, because then they feel empowered that they don't have to know everything and that they can connect to a resource that is going to give them the information that they want, okay? Next is we have to make it simple to buy. When we're giving people options, I know at doTERRA there are a lot of kits, but I want you to really limit your kit exposures when you're talking to people to 2 or 3 max, okay? This is also a big thing, is that we have to adjust as necessary so that everyone leaves that meeting with something, right? That interaction with you. We don't want people to leave and purchase nothing, because then we know that they have no real value created and they're going to leave there and they're going to have nothing to take with them that can help them to build value and see the benefits that this product can bring to them and their family. So we want to make sure that we know how to adjust, and we're going to walk through that closing process today. So let's talk about our sales conversation. Again, we're establishing a connection. We're going to set an agenda. We're going to learn about their goals. We're going to go through a little bit of the company story, and I'm going to give you a great example to utilize today. We're going to teach the top 10 oils and lifelong vitality. I think lifelong vitality is a very important component outside of the top 10 products that we have for us to make sure we can at least speak in general terms about, even if it's, what it's done for us, and then outline our buying process for the customer, okay? Of course, we want to have the ability to troubleshoot if we need to. So we're going to go through some top things that come up where we might need to work through some issues with people. And we're going to have you prepared to know what to do in those situations. Okay, I love this quote that says, if you create incredible value and information for others that can change their lives, and you always stay focused on that service, the financial success will follow. And I have found that that's exactly true. So what we're doing through all of this, and as we recommend additional courses and tools for you, is we're helping you to get better and better at bringing incredible value and information about the things we know can really change people's lives. So when we establish a connection, something that's really easy to do is just saying, hey, how's your week been so far? Right? And then really actually listening to what they say. How many times do you think people experience that in their day-to-day life? Another one is to really just pick one thing that you love learning about that you like to ask. For me, I love asking about people's families or about their work because that's something that I enjoy hearing about. Another thing is if you only talk about, to make sure that you only talk about things you're genuinely interested in, because somebody can tell so quickly from your body language if you really could care less about what they're saying. And we cannot establish a connection that way. One of the things that I love to do, and this is something I do when I'm meeting in person with people, is I offer a neck massage utilizing one of our blends. And I personally love to use past tense, but there's several options that you can use. You could use Deep Blue, you could use Balance, you could use Aroma Touch. I love offering this in my classes because most of the people I'm working with are women who are moms, or maybe they're even working moms, or maybe they're even single moms, and they are overloaded, right? And you can feel always just the tension and stress in their neck. And I love to be able to come from a place of service right when I meet them and offer them a neck massage. And in doing this, this is a great time for me to establish trust with them. It's also a great time for me to build some connection and to ask them even about what their goal is in coming today. So I can get to know a little bit about each person before I start teaching them. And that helps me to make sure that I can do a good job in bringing value because I'm creating trust, establishing that connection, and I'm learning about something about each individual person that's attending. So this is not like a make it or break it situation. I just wanted to make sure that I let you guys know something that I personally love to do. So when we outline the agenda, this is something that we're going to say. Today we're going to talk about doTERRA essential oils. First, we'll chat a little bit about your health goals so I don't bore you with all the information you don't care about. Then we'll go over a company history and some of the top products. You don't have to buy anything, but if you see something that you like, you can order it today. What things do you want to make sure we go over today? So easy, right? So next, after we give the agenda, we're going to learn about their goals. What do you want to make sure we go over today? Great. We'll make sure to cover all of those things. I'll be able to help you best if I get an idea of your health goals. So what are some of the health goals that you have? Okay, what else? Okay, I got that. Okay, what else? Do you see how easy it is by saying those two words to help break down some of the layers to really learn the underlying problems happening with people? I love doing this in a one-on-one situation, but there's also, you can apply this into a class situation as you're making sure you're gathering information of what they want to cover during the class as people are coming in and getting set up and chatting a little bit before the actual event starts. So it's important to do this because sometimes people kind of give you those surface answers. But as you continue to dig, you're going to get to the root cause of some of the things that are really important underlying root causes of what's important to them and what maybe is the root of why some of these other things are surfacing. So it's important that we give space to ask these questions. Why are those goals so important to you? We need to know how serious people are about solving the things that they've discussed and told us about. right? If it's not really important to them, then they're not really looking for a solution. So this is a good gauge to know how serious is this person about taking care of something if I do offer them a value that could be a potential solution for them. Why do you feel that now is a good time to move towards achieving those goals? This helps us to really feel out where people are and if they're ready to pull a trigger. I got it. So what do you already know about doTERRA? It's good to ask that so that you have a base of the type of audience that you're talking to. Again, so you know how much you need to share, where you can make tweaks, and what you want to spend the majority of your time doing. So this company story is one that comes from the Emerge Sales Foundations training, and I love it. I am telling you right now that this is one of my favorite pieces that I am sharing with you today. And I'm usually not a big person on memorizing things, but as I look at some of the content and scripts that we're sharing, I just feel like they're so relevant to what our mission is and what the company's mission is, and they fall so in line. So this is 2 slides, and I'm going to go back through it with you. I'm just going to read from the slides so that you can see and you can read along with me of just how amazing this verbiage is. So doTERRA is the largest essential oil distributor in the world. We work with families to use natural solutions for their everyday life. Moms turn to us when their current approach to health is not achieving the results it was supposed to. They are tired of using chemical concoctions for literally everything and are confused by the natural options out there with no time to research it all. They want more energy to do the things they love without the side effects of stimulants, and they want to increase the overall quality of life for their family. doTERRA offers a full line of essential oil kits to support your family's health goals, whatever they are. doTERRA has raised the bar in the essential oil industry. There are no fillers, no artificial ingredients, and no dilution. The plants are grown in their ideal environments, and the oils go through 5 levels of testing to ensure purity and potency. This means when you see the doTERRA label, you can be assured you are seeing the highest health benefits. If you don't like it, you can return it within 30 days and get 100% product credit to try something else, or 90% return back to your card. Wow, right? How much is encompassed in just a few paragraphs that will take you about 3 or 4 minutes to give to the audience? Now, if your target market that you're talking to is not moms, would it be so easy to take this template and to transition it, to make it people turn to us when, right? Wouldn't that be families turn to us when? You know, you could easily make this to where it appeals to whatever audience you're speaking to. People being a very easy change to add in right there. I love, love, love this company story. Okay, so after we have given the agenda, right, we've connected, we've given the agenda, we've gone through finding out what their needs are, what their health goals are, we're sharing a little bit about the company, and then it's time to teach, okay? Now it's time to bring value to the things that they have already let us know about that are important to them through the top 10 oils and lifelong vitality, okay? So don't just give them a binder with everything, only give them what you're currently talking about. And some of the tools that are coming to teach, you can use a teach sheet if you want to. You don't have to use a teach sheet, but sometimes that helps us to stay on track. And there are teach sheets available even that are coming that are extremely simple that focus on these top 10 oils and lifelong vitality. If you overwhelm them, you will get a no sale because they will have to think about it, right? So we want to make sure that we are sticking to just those oils. Now, there may be situations, one-offs, where people are in need of other things, and you can adjust a little bit in those situations. But most of the time, if families have the top 10 oils and lifelong vitality in their medicine cabinet, they have options to take care of the majority of needs available. And that's their best place to start. One of the things that's really important, you guys, is that you have to remember when you're teaching someone, you may already know a lot, so you feel like you got to keep talking about this and this and this and this and this, but we really don't want to overwhelm people. And if they walk out of there understanding how to apply the top 10 oils to the things that were important to them, you have done a tremendous job bringing value, okay? You can use the transition when you're talking about oils. You can say, oh my goodness, you will use this is peppermint oil, and you will use this for, right? You were talking about how you had some respiratory issues and how you had some digestive issues. And oh, you brought up over there that you needed help focusing and a little pick-me-up at 3 o'clock. And oh my goodness. And then you were talking about how you get a lot of migraines and headaches and head tension. And oh, I know you have a little one that gets exposed sometimes to germs and may get a fever. And you could use peppermint for that. So everything you're doing, you'll use this for, right? Don't just say all the awesome things peppermint are good for. You can bring up a couple, but make sure you're tying it into the things that are relevant to their needs, okay? Explain the use and benefit based on their goals, which is what I just did. And then one thing that I love is, one of the top 10 oils is oregano, right? And that's an oil that they may not use every single day. But when we need oregano, we are so thankful we have it in our medicine cabinet. So this is a good verbiage to use. Things not as frequently used, you can say, hey, you might not use oregano every single day, but it's going to be the one you use when your kid has that nasty wart you want to get rid of, or there's a really gross virus going around and you want to help support your immune system to the max. This is going to be an oil you want to have on hand, right? So simply tying it into things we know that everybody experiences. And then this is a great term, helpful, isn't it? What do you guys think, right? Whether you're doing a one-on-one or a class, you can teach in this exact same way. Okay, our next step after we teach is to make sure we outline the buying process for the customer. So buying a kit, you guys, benefits your customer more than you. Imagine that you only had lemon oil. How helpful is that going to be when your kid is puking in the room next door? Yeah, maybe you're going to be able to disinfect the area with some lemon oil and clean it up, but that's not bringing a ton of value and support and relief to your child. Okay, so we want to make sure that people get the foundational oils, and you're coming from a place of trying to provide them the most value, and you know better, you guys. Sometimes I think we want to put the whole ball court and decision in their hands, which I understand. But you know what? We got to guide them a little bit because they truly don't know. They're looking to you as the expert so that you can tell them what you recommend. Also know that how you explain that product line in your teaching directly impacts what they're going to buy. So make sure, again, I can't reiterate this enough, that we're tying everything back to their goals. If they're confused, they're not going to buy anything. If you show them too many kits, they're not going to buy anything. If you show them too many products, they're not going to buy anything. So show them the foundational products that you know are going to bring tremendous success. When you're offering the kits, remember we talked about this, 2 to 3 max that have different price points. So as you're beginning, I highly recommend that you master knowing the Home Essentials Kit and the Family Essentials Kit. Those have the top 10 oils in them, and they're at 2 different price points, right? So if you even can master those, that's a great place to start. As you get better at closing, you might even move up to a higher price kit, like the Natural Solutions Kit and the Home Essentials Kit, right? Or the Diamond Kit and the Home Essentials Kit. You can have those options as you get better, picking a mid-range and a lower range option. I am a complete believer that if they don't know about it, they can't buy it, right? But we have to listen to their needs and keep the buying process very simple. Usually people are going to choose that second option. So what I recommend is if you're going to use the Home Essentials and the Family Essentials Kit, bring up the Family Essentials Kit first and bring up the Home Essentials Kit second, because people tend to buy the second option. Put the higher price value kit second. So here's an example of how you can close at the end of your class to outline the buying process. Okay, now I'm going to show you the 2 most popular packages. This is the Family Essentials Kit, and it comes with everything I showed you earlier with about 85 drops per bottle, and it's $150. This is the Home Essentials Kit, and it comes with everything I showed you earlier in 250 drop bottles and a diffuser. It's only $275. If you were to get one of these, which one would you prefer? Okay, let me tell you about my first appointment special. This is where I give you a free blank or a free blank by placing an order for a kit on my first visit. Which would you prefer? Okay, would you like to order the blank kit and get the blank oil for free? and then you just be quiet and listen and let them answer. So I'm going to go through some of these blanks and what you're going to fill in there. But one of the things that is awesome here and that you can also include is if you'd like to upgrade one of your kits today and add the Lifelong Vitality Pack, you can do that for $79.50. Okay, so that's something that you can add if you want to bring the Lifelong Vitality in as an option. The question I love here is, if you were to get one of these, which would you prefer? Because here we're uncovering that if money was not an option, what would they want to do? And we want to know that, because that helps us to know how interested and how serious they are about using the products. When we talk about a first appointment special, it's really good to have that. And we're going to talk about this in the next slide. So incentives are really good to create because it helps people to make a positive decision that day. It really creates some urgency around that moment. And the company does a lot, right, to provide us with incentives that we can offer that cost us nothing. But sometimes it's really nice to have a little something extra that you can offer at a class that helps them and allows them to walk away with a product and a free item that they can use until their product arrives. So one of the suggestions that has been a big hit is to just bring empty roller bottles, have your oils with you, and let's say they bring up allergies. Maybe you make an allergy roller, or they say sleep is an issue. Maybe you make them a sleepy time roller, or whatever they have. You can offer 2 different types of rollers that are customized to their needs, and it costs you only $2 to $3 to do that. So it's worth your while to make that offer for something that's very inexpensive, okay? The next thing here is when you're choosing an incentive, you don't want to do something that's going to break the bank, right? Another incentive that I really love is maybe paying for the app or using the A to Z guide. I love to give people a book that buy a kit and get on loyalty rewards, right? So I know that people are walking away with a tool that is going to help them to be a master oil user. So I've had so many people that were on the fence that decide to get a kit simply because I'm offering a free book. And the book is the gift that keeps on giving. So you can buy those in bulk at multiple sites, oillife.com, aromatools.com, and you can get a huge discount by buying in bulk per book, and that helps you, okay? But consider your profit and loss. It doesn't have to be something that's expensive, just something that is purposeful and brings specific value to them. Remember, always with our options, we want to keep it to 2 and keep those very simple and easy to think about. When we're looking to close, and tips to really solidify the close here and make sure that people don't walk away without any product, because that would be the worst case scenario, is that we don't freak out, okay? Stay calm, show your 2 options. Remember to put the second kit second, the bigger kit second. That made no sense. The bigger kit second, because people tend to pick the second option. Explain kit A, give the price, then explain kit B and give the price. If you were to get one of these, which would you prefer? Make sure that that transition is in there, that clarifying question, so that we're digging deep to know what they really want. Using your first appointment special and making sure that you say something along the lines of, hey, listen, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you this question. Would you like to order the Home Essentials kit and get the free allergy roller today? If they still say no, keep giving options until they find something that they're comfortable buying, okay? When we're troubleshooting, tends to be that there are a couple of things that come up all the time, right? The most frequent things. Just remember and keep in mind that no sales are a lot sadder for you for the customer than they are for you, okay? They're the ones that are walking away with no essential oils to use in their home. If you say, okay, listen, the Home Essentials kit, and they're like, that's just too much for me right now, then I would say, no worries. Like, you can do the Family Essentials kit, and guess what? You're going to get the same exact products, right? They're going to come in smaller bottles, but that's okay. You can start playing around with everything and getting to know it, and you can always add stuff later because you're going to have your wholesale account. If I were to say, oh, you're not going to get the Home Essentials kit? Well, I guess the Family Essentials kit's okay. You know, I mean, you're still getting the same oils even though they're in those tiny little bottles, right? You just deflated that. And then they feel terrible about that option. And they're like, forget it. I'm just not going to get anything right now. I'll just save up. But how often are they really going to save up for that kit? Okay. If they do get a larger kit, you can suggest some complementary products to add on that would create value for them in their home that day. If they refer and say, oh, I need to talk to my spouse about it, that usually means they really love it. Maybe they have an agreement on how much they can spend without discussing it with each other. But the bottom line of it is that the spouse was not there. They did not attend, so there's been no value created for them. And for this person to go home and try to create the same value that was brought at the class by the expert, that's really going to be difficult to do. So we need to make sure that we give them an option that they can feel good about leaving that day. When you're with them, let them know when their products are going to arrive. People want to know that, right? 3 to 5 days your product's going to be here. If they want to think about it, find something small that they can start with today. Always make sure that we ask for referrals, and we're going to have a whole nother training segment on just referrals, because that's how you're never going to run out of people to talk to. Remember, we talked about that appointment setting with the follow-up. At the end of our intro presentation, whether it's a one-on-one or a class, make sure we schedule that follow-up before they leave. So the two biggest troubleshooting sentences, I feel like objections, if you want to call them, that come up are, no, it's not in my budget, right? So if someone says, no, it's not in my budget, no problem. The Family Essentials Kit is a great kit, and it's just $150. It comes with the smaller bottles, and you'll still get your free roller bottle today or your free book today. Does that work for you? If they still say, no, it's not in my budget, then you can transition to something like, no problem. Let me show you the Husband Don't Kill Me kit. I got you, girl. It comes with lemon, lavender, peppermint. It's only $30. You can use this while you're saving up for the Home Essentials kit you really wanted. And the great thing about it is you can still get that free roller bottle when you upgrade later. Does that work better for your budget? Okay? We want to make sure they leave with something, you guys. And if they have something to go home with, then that's going to allow them to build value in a greater way, to allow, some agreement on the purchase taking place. If you are facilitating something like this in an intro and you've got a really big group, here are some great tips for big classes. Meld the agenda time frame and input section, and make sure that each person just tells you 1 to 2 top goals. And I usually get this information in the beginning when I'm doing my oil application or when people are coming in. So that helps me to not disrupt from the class. If you aren't able to gather it, then you can take a few minutes in the beginning and just say, hey, listen, this is what we're going to cover today. My part will take about 30 to 40 minutes. I don't want to bore you guys with stuff that you don't care about. So please tell me what your health goals are and the things that you want to make sure we cover today in this presentation so that you're getting value from the time you spent here, right? That's something really easy to gather. Personalize your features and benefits with yes questions. So kind of how you saw me do the peppermint. If you've got a big room, right, and people have revealed like, oh, I'm dealing with stress and I'm dealing with this, I'm dealing with this, you can do a really good job by kind of like, oh, Sam, you brought up that this was a big concern and I just wanted you to know like frankincense is awesome for that. And Sally, you brought this up. So tying people's names in to the solution that's provided for the health goal that they brought up helps them to feel like they're important. And it also helps them to pay attention so that they're not like totally tuning out when you're talking to someone else. Give them the essential oil books. I love to carry a few of these to a class or a pack of A to Z guides to a class so that you have something to distract people with that is helpful for them while you're working with each individual person. Because at a big class, you got to still get that individual time to close people and help them write up their order. If you have a really big class, I highly recommend bringing someone with you to help you out. Because typically, especially if you're new, more than 3 people per person, you need to have about that ratio so that people aren't just leaving or they're walking away without anybody getting that in conversation with them. So of course, you guys know I'm always ending these with an application to action because I truly know and have experienced that action is foundational. It's the foundational key to all success. So we got to put things into practice. So my challenge for you guys after watching this video today is to role play with your mentor. That's a great way for you to get comfortable teaching on your own. One of the things I'll recommend is that the faster you can do this on your own without someone doing it for you, the greater your business is going to be able to go, because then you're only dealing with your schedule and the schedule of the person you're meeting with. You're not adding another schedule conflict that's coming in. So role play with your mentor to where you can get good enough to start doing these intro oils. Teach at least one one-on-one this week and at least one group class. And the reason I say that is because this is a really good way for you to feel out where you see higher sales and what you prefer, okay? And then you can make your appointments accordingly. I also want you to try to facilitate an online class, because a lot of times you're gonna have people that you need to connect with, and you're gonna be a little hesitant because you can't meet with them in person. So I want you to get the practice of doing these 3 things this week. Really quickly, you guys, please, please, please remember that you're good enough. Practice is going to help you to improve. It's going to help you to get better. It's going to help you to become an expert at doing this. And even if you're not great at first, I remember my very first oil class I taught on my own, and I had 10 drug reps sitting in there, and it was high pressure. But you know what? I knew I didn't know everything. So I went and I served and I brought value, and it turned out great, and I got better. Okay, so that's the key for you, and I hope this has really provided a lot of help for you guys today. All right, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you in the next video.